Bitcoin, what a move again. We are now breaching the levels. So I think it's so fascinating here because one of the things we can look at here, and we'll go to the big board to kind of dissect this, but we can see how many times. So
Bitcoin Zella stands out with its simplicity and clarity. We've crafted an experience that anyone can dive into, whether you're a crypto expert or just a new to the crypto world. Now guess who keeps his eye on us? The author of best-selling book Rich Dad Poor Dad, Robert Kiyosaki. And we want to take this opportunity and thank all the people who trusted us, and we read every comment. And the best part, it's free. Subscribing now means you will get all new information for free. Don't just follow the trends, stay ahead of them. Subscribe to Bitcoin Zella today and enjoy the new edge. In this video, let's discuss these topics and more.
You can see right up here, it kind of was hovering and closing right on this line. We even touched this upper line here, and yesterday we closed on it, right? But today it's pushing above. Now, the one thing I'll say is, so there's two things at work here. The first thing is this is an intraday candle, so we have to see where it closes. If it closes above, you got to think it's touching 100K. The other thing is what I call the magnet effect. When you get close enough to 100K or any major even number, it could be a stock at 100. I still remember this vividly on NVIDIA before it split at the 1200 level. There's a magnetic effect where once you get close, let's say this is the level, this is your even number. Let's say this is 100K right here, okay? When price goes up, there's like a pull to that even number. There's something human in human psychology, and this is where the psychological level of trading comes in, that wants to touch that level and wants to pierce it. And it's also the algorithms, right? The algorithms know that there's a ton of stops right here at 100K. They want to run those stops. They also know that there's a ton of money on the sidelines that is, they don't want to, people don't want to buy right here at 98 because it's just under 100. But once it pierces 100, they know that they can convince that money to come off the sidelines and go long. So you stop out the shorts, you get the last longs on board, and that's usually where you get the pullback. So in terms of trading, one of my favorite trading techniques, and you can ask anyone in the Apex Live day trading room where we're day trading every day, is the even number pierces. When you get an even number pierce, let's say the stock is running up here. Let's go here. Here's $100. Let's say this is $100 right here. You pierce 100, you short into it because everyone's doing the opposite. You have stops getting stopped out, so the stops are getting stopped out. The longs, any last longs are jumping on board. It kind of flushes out the cycle of shorts and longs, and that's where you often get the pullback. Now, again, this is more of a shorter-term trade. It's not saying that Bitcoin's not going to go to 120 after that, but there's trading opportunities in the short term at major even number pierces. It's a great thing, folks. It works amazingly well. Obviously, you want to have some technical factors there as well to increase your probability. So suffice it to say, Bitcoin again, guys, we're looking at Bitcoin that likely in the next few days will touch 100K. I think it probably goes to 101, maybe 103, just to kind of really get those last bulls on board and the momentum. Then we'll see if it pulls back a little bit. And remember, I'm not talking about it going back to 50 here. We're talking about a pullback to 95 or 90, somewhere in that vicinity, a little bit of a flush out, which, by the way, those people that buy in above 100 will then get scared when it gets down towards 90. They'll get scared out, and then the next move can come out to the upside. It's amazing how much human psychology goes into this stuff in terms of the market wanting to whip out the most amount of people. It just does. That's just the way it works. Okay, let's take a look at gold here real quick. If we take a look at gold, gold continues to rally up. And just to go over to the big board to dissect this chart of gold, we knew that so this is where I was short, right? Made money. We covered some here. We covered some down here. We went long down here, especially with the miners. I thought the miners were really due for a bounce. Here we've now had 1, 2, 3, 4 up days in a row. Again, where is the midpoint of this parallel channel? It's right here, right? And you can see the midpoint here worked, the midpoint here, the midpoint here, the midpoint here, and even the midpoint here. And so what I do as a technician in the charts is not try to reinvent the wheel. Like, I'm not trying to make anything up out of crazy thin air. You want to just use what you have. And so what we see is that here we came up to the midpoint, we pulled back. Here we kissed the midpoint, pulled back. Here we went up to the midpoint, we pulled back. Midpoint, small pullback, and breakout. Now, once you break out and confirm, the midpoint is the support. So you come down into support and you go higher, right? Come down into support, got to bounce. Now you break down to the downside, so what do we do again? We say, okay, Well, we know the midpoint's been acting this way. So if we rally up into the midpoint, that should be resistance. All right. Now, it doesn't mean it can't break above. I still am bullish mid to long term on gold, but we're just doing short-term technical analysis here that tells us that if we achieve this level, which is around 2685 or so on gold, 2690, the likelihood is, or the probability is, that we see some sort of retrace on the chart. So again, that's what we're looking at here. I've thought about selling my miners into this level and then just looking to buy on a pullback, maybe buying gold on a pullback. Because again, I think the idea is here is that this still will remain a lot of support. So whether we come here, we do a bull flag sort of thing, eventually we head up. But again, taking a little bit off the table, putting some profits in the pocket is always a good idea for consistent gainers in this realm of investing.
Bitcoin's meteoric rally to $97,154 has the market watching closely. With dominance at 61.5% and major inflows, a $100,000 breakthrough is within reach, but resistance and overbought signals hint at possible turbulence. Post-election momentum, ETF inflows $628 million in one day, and a $3.28 trillion crypto market cap drive the surge. Large BTC acquisitions reduce supply, adding upward pressure. RSI at 81.01 flags potential pullback. Resistance at $98,000 looms large. What's next? Breaking $100,000 could accelerate gains, but whales and corrections may temper short-term excitement. Bitcoin's path to $100,000 is electrifying, but traders should balance optimism with strategic caution. Keep an eye on $98,000. It's the key to the next move.
All right, lastly, a couple other things. We will touch on natural gas because what a move there. It actually hit my level. But here on oil, there's not much going on. Very, very minimal price action. Silver, again, is just continuing to react here. If we take a look here, there's a trend line right here. Look at this. So you can see right here that we have pivot low, pivot low, pivot low, broke down, which now makes this resistance, and it's getting rejected off that resistance. And then this is the one I really wanted to talk about today, guys. How patient have we been on natural gas? Just waiting. All right, remember, I know you guys remember, if you've been watching me for months, you know that I take trades with you guys. Like, I say, hey, I'm short natural gas or I'm long natural gas. For the longest time now, probably for the last 2 months, I've been just waiting. We've talked about the bullish consolidation here. And if it breaks up, what were we looking at? A gap fill, double top. This zone right in here. Well, guess what? You're right into that mix now. We got it. And this is, by the way, what you're seeing in these videos of the game plan is showing the discipline and patience, right? It's not jumping the gun and saying, oh my goodness, I might miss the trade, so instead let me short it right here just in case, right? No. And why don't I have that anymore? Because I've done so many trades in my career, I always remember there's always another trade coming around the corner. So yes, sometimes does it go here and then pull back? Yeah. But that's not the setup. That's not the high probability setup that I want. And by the way, just shorting it here doesn't guarantee me a win. Absolutely. There's no such thing as guaranteed in investing. We have to always remember that. Always remind yourself of that. There's no sure thing. The key is there is a higher probability. And probabilities, I want to be the casino, not the gambler. The gambler, you walk into a casino, you aren't going in there. I mean, we all dream about making the big score. But in reality, most of us will lose money in a casino. That's the odds. That's the probabilities. If you do trading using technicals correctly, you can actually put the odds in your favor. It still means you're going to take losses, but it means that most of the trades you can win on by being disciplined. So again, natural gas right into that zone. Pretty darn cool on that chart of natural gas.
The recent rise in the price of Bitcoin due to geopolitical issues is prompting nations to consider introducing BTC as part of their reserves. In this context, countries like El Salvador, which is already purchasing Bitcoin, might consider issuing debt to fund larger purchases. Deutsche Bank has invested in German artificial intelligence, AI, startup Aleph Alpha. The bank aims to leverage AI for operational efficiency and regulatory compliance. India's expanding payment ties with nations like UAE and Sri Lanka highlight a push for seamless transactions, paired with cautious central bank digital currency (CBDC) advancements. A Shanghai court ordered a partial refund after ruling a token fundraising contract illegal, citing violations of Chinese financial regulations. Donald Trump's administration is reportedly considering a crypto czar, role to oversee crypto policy, signaling sweeping changes in U.S. cryptocurrency regulation and innovation strategy. Post-financial crisis regulation is over, a top U.S. lawmaker has declared, calling for urgent reforms to digital asset oversight, regulatory transparency, and leadership accountability at federal agencies. Residents can now use cryptocurrency to legally purchase real estate in South Africa in a first-of-its-kind offering. If you've been with us so far, a big thank you. Don't forget to subscribe for free to Bitcoin Zella for your daily news. The link is waiting below. That's all for today's crypto news. Stick around for more updates, insights, and analysis on cryptocurrencies. Share your thoughts in the comments, like this video, and subscribe for more exciting content.